Black is in the building. It is a special report. Special report. Oh, by the way, there's more paperwork up on China Brim page. There's signatures this time. There's part two to paperwork. You guys gotta check it out. Jim. Well, I'm gonna say Jim Jones. I don't know who you aggravated or who you've been arguing with, but you know we should be. We the people shouldn't be surprised at this. And this is just what the new. This is what these are the ways that people operate. Now you know when there's a lot of money and people are paying their dues, there's no stress because people are like, everybody's happy. But you know, once everybody starts going to jail, um, people begin to feel like they're not being treated fairly. You might look out for one, but somebody feel like you don't look out for the other. You know what I'm saying? Was good, maintain 140. So of course, Jim Jones, you know, the Billies is putting this paperwork out. You know what I'm saying? This is the Billies putting this out. This is not nobody else with the Billies transferring this information. I guess they trying to prove a point to you. I don't know what happened behind the scenes. Maybe y'all can play this off and act like the YouTubers is freestyling. But Jimmy, this is your life. You know what I'm saying? You want to keep claiming the gang and be the mascot. You're basically a mascot because you're the only person that's within the last 3 4 years of 9 trade indictments from here to North Carolina, even Virginia, and your name never comes up in nothing. You're not in the wire. Actually, the only wiretap that you was actually in was somebody who came home to the Billies. You know what I'm saying? So that's even crazier because I can see if you was all in the wiretaps with the CEO Chris situation because you was all in with them in the strip clubs, popping bottles. You was with Gatto on them before they got snatched. That was your team, the homies, the Billies. But out of all the telling, you keep weaving it. The only time your name really did pop up was in 6ix9ine case. Was six. You know what I'm saying? Out of all the Billies, out of all the so it's crazy because you're like the only non-active official blood that's online that says he took this shit worldwide. You say things that's more indictable than anything else. I don't think they look at Nine Trey as a corporate entity like Zulu Nation. Nine Trey is probably looked upon allegedly as a criminal enterprise. But you know who to each his own. So you got to deal with that. Don't act like dudes just hating on you with the slant, with this slander and slang. Now back to the moral of the story. Just a couple of days ago, the infamous Ricky Ross the boss. We call Ricky Ross the boss because he's the boss. He calls the ex-drug lord Rick Ross a snitch. Now, the real Rick Ross, the official Rick Ross, says that he told only on the police authorities that was torturing, robbing, extorting, and killing drug dealers in the neighborhood when that drug first hit the hard, when powder went to harder, when powder went to powder, Iran Contra, Nicaragua, it was a dirty game with a bunch of dirty players. Okay, is he a snitch? Okay, well, he told on the police, hey, we put him in the category, right? All right. Now, but this is what I don't understand. Rick Ross, when he first came out, you came out glorifying the lifestyle of Ricky Ross, of drug dealers. You know, he's from Florida. You're rapping about things that dealt with the drug trade, not just about his lifestyle, but you know the what's the name Falcon, the Falcons, the Colombians that was sitting up in Florida in Miami. So needless to say, and say to be needless at a time like this is you blew up. The first album did good. The second album did good. The third album did good. You in big mansions. Now I don't know the dispute between you and him. But I believe he came home feeling he should have got a check. Which that's anybody. You pay homage to. The last time you had a problem with the Gates of Disciples because you didn't want to pay a check, but you're screaming out GDs and everything else in your rap songs. So it's like the difference between the GDs and Rick Ross was Rick Ross took you to court, and the GDs they basically were shutting down some of your shows in the South. And then you had to go to the tables. You know what I'm saying? And then you started to drop. You know what I'm saying? You had to definitely. My cash app is Lakeisha dollar sign Lakeisha McDonald. You know what I'm saying? So They had to go back to the tables and renegotiate, and behind closed doors, Rick Ross is allowed to do shows and anything past New York without heavy security. Now, huh, you call a freeway Ricky Ross a snitch, it just doesn't make sense. I mean, I mean, all jokes aside, we all steal something from somebody, we steal a name. I know you probably say, oh, well, 50 Cent, nobody trusts him because he got this from 50 Cent. He got a guy named 50 Cent, name, whatever the case may be. But you don't have to follow that man's path. You understand what I'm saying? You don't have to follow what other people do. Sometimes you have to be a leader. You know what I'm saying? Look out for somebody, man. Yo, if it wasn't for me stealing your style, as in your lifestyle, don't get it twisted. It's happened before. I remember when the rapper AZ made a song called Sugar Hill, and he got sued allegedly by AZ. You know what I'm saying? A lot of times, a lot of dudes, they steal your style. How am I gonna do that? Huh? Oh God. Oh. Yeah, because I'm on my phone. I gotta figure this out. Yeah, but so I remember they was going through that. I think you should pay homage. Sometimes you gotta pay homage, even though the real war tried to sue you. But because you gotta pay homage, man, get him a deal, man. I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure that John Singleton, rest in peace his soul, stole Snowball from him. You know what I'm saying? I believe that. You know what I'm saying? That story, Snowball or Snowfall, was definitely the scene of California when that stuff was floating around the streets. You know what I'm saying? Um, The reason I made this video is because I was watching Carlito's Way. And then as I was watching it, it really began to hit me about the education again. No, okay, I got you. I do it in the next live. You know what I'm saying? Actually, what I'm going to do, when I get done with this live, I'm going to put it in the comments. You know what I'm saying? Now, it's just crazy, man, about information, right? Um, now you good, James. About information. The real Rick Ross was a part of something that was big. Now, getting with Carlito's Way, right? Carlito's Way was about a story about a man who got out of jail on a technicality. Now, when he comes back on the scene, what was a party drug, it was like a big hustle now. So now he's in the street when he went from, you know what I'm saying, the bag to powder. So now he noticing the club, the disco club. They're showing the era, the East Harlem. Definitely, a lot of that was like East Harlem. You know what I'm saying? Spanish Harlem, Italians, the Puerto Ricans. Listen to the storyline. As I'm watching that, I'm like, wow, that was the Rick Ross era. The late '80s, early '70s, mid '80s. Not late '80s, but like mid '80s, early '80s, '70s, and all that. That was that era. Now, when what I remember as a kid in East Harlem, 1980, 81, you had little social clubs. In the social clubs, they sold powder. Um, I remember that because I remember when they said that there was one on my block, actually on 17th Street, first and second, allegedly. There was one on my block, and people would talk about how he had this powder. I remember in 1978, 79, 81, most of our parents was young. You know what I'm saying? Like my mom's is in her 20s. So, you feel what I'm saying? Rest in peace, her soul. So her little circle, they were still into partying on a Thursday night because the bag was still strong, but the powder game was more really a party thing. So now I'm looking at the Rick Ross thing like, wow, this is deep, man, because he really played a part to like that orchestra. Like I remember seeing that in the street where I just said the Doji game wasn't as was big back then. It was crazy back then. The dudes, whatever you want to call it, P Funk, whatever you want to say, and you see the difference in the game. You know what I'm saying? Um, well, I think Rick Ross is showing some unconditional love. Why not? what I'm saying? Why not? You know what I'm saying? No, the man basically took not just his storyline, but probably like, that guy George, whatever his name is from Boston George. He took a bunch of other people's storylines. Now, do I think that he should pay homage? Yeah, all day. See, I pay homage. See, when I shot East Harlem out, even in some of my best videos, you hear me shouting my block out, shouting dudes out, because a lot of my story surrounds around the guys I grew up around. So when I say a story, it's like it brings people back in the days. Yeah, I remember it. When I remember this. So of course, if I know I got a chance to get 10, 20,000 views, I'm gonna do a video where I can shout them out and at least pay a little bit of homage. If I could have some money to give them, I would, because their our war story is what makes it complete for the win. Now I don't get rich and go Zeke's the Washington boy, and all of a sudden I forget the Washington boy. Like right now, do I become Ant White, rest in peace, online, and then that's just a win? I can say the stories and boom, 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 but I gotta pay homage to Ant White's family. You know, for some reason, man, this music industry begins to cloud people's brains and their minds and their memories, man. Um, how do you call a man a snitch, but then you say you live by these rules of this drug lord and this drug lord mentality that you have, but you want to use the snitch's name? You know what I'm saying? Dudes who say anything when they're mad, when they're not thinking. Does that make bro? We been knew Rick Ross told since when he got bagged. That wasn't news to us that he came out and said, "Yo, this is what happened." We knew he told. You took on his name as a rapper and created this image of drug kingpin, drug lords, big houses. You did that. And the consequences now is every time you think he asks for something, he's a rap, man. He a sucker, man. That's messed up, man. That's what I mean. So what happens is, you know what I'm saying? So what happens is, Jay Collins, you're right. So now what happens is, somebody got really got to go to Rick Ross and go, Rick Ross, that's not real, bro. So why you couldn't be yourself? Like, you know what I'm saying? Why you couldn't be yourself and say a bunch of shit you ain't do? Why you had to use a worldwide drug lord that name that we all knew about? Create this image around that name. And then when the man asks for $5 or $10, he a sucker, he a snitch. Yo, we got to sue for names and like, come on, that's crazy. You know he didn't have his name copywritten, man. Yo, man, this is why these dudes go through the hell they go through, man. I tell you one thing, see, Rick Ross, you keep playing games with him. You need to do what the GDs did with him. The GDs fixed him. Just like with Jeezy. When Jeezy started doing all that GD, you see, when you start affecting the bag, I bet you won't do a show in this city. That's when dudes start calming down. When you try to be nice and negotiate and, yo, let's go to the tables and let's be men about it, you lose. Some of these dudes, they feel that they're untouchable because they got these high paid lawyers. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying to shut them down, but sometimes, man, you got to weigh your wins and losses. You know what I'm saying? I remember being a kid, and I ain't gonna lie to you, it did create a lot of destruction because I watched the bag turn into the newest thing on the street. It wasn't new. It was here. It's just that everybody couldn't afford it. Then when it came in by the boatloads, it was affordable, and it went from being a functional drug, a party drug, to a pandemic. When that pandemic hit, the pandemic hit the clubs, the job, the workforce. It hit the police office, the police station. It hit the garbage, the sanitation men. Those were the first custody social workers. Those were the first custodies, really. Who was the first custodies? The working class, the ones that was able, teachers, lawyers. Those were the first ones that was really buying. Let me get 5 Grizzlies. You know what I'm saying? So Rick Ross did play a part to that part of the culture. Like you can say He's one of the originals. You know what I'm saying? Like Boston George and the rest of them. You know what I'm saying? But you know the game, the game ain't got no rules. The game ain't got no the regulations is crazy. You know, sometimes you gotta look at things for what it is. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Sometimes you look at things for what it is. You know what I'm saying? I just think that Rick Ross, you bugging out with that one. You're a rapper, bro. And even though and you call the guy that's an ex drug lord a snitch. But if you get slapped in your head, in your face, and if somebody run up in your house and burglarize your crib, you suing. You know what I'm saying? Y'all be wild, man. Y'all wild out with this terminology when y'all be mad and upset. Well, what's up with the where's the snitch? Huh? Come on, man, you wildin', bro. So why you didn't come out as a rapper as yourself, a big fat guy from Miami? Telling stories about Miami. Why you just didn't do that? Why you had to become somebody else? This be the thing that be bugging me. Like I'm Zeke Black. I don't turn into rest in peace Ant White on the microphone. You know what I'm saying? That's who I am. I'm Zeke Black. And you know what I'm saying? A lot of you guys take all these other guys' names and then y'all blow and then y'all got the imagery from these guys in the street. You know what I'm saying? This shit is crazy, man. I'm gonna tell you, man. You know it's a dirty game when a rapper calls. It's crazy. What's up, man? It's a dirty game, man. It's a lot of dirt out here. Harlem ain't back, man. Jimmy in trouble, man. Jimmy in trouble, man. It's a dirty game, man. Nah, but it's a legal document. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Oh man, Jimmy, yo, Jimmy's been having a long month, man. The 6ix9ine side of the game. Jones, listen, listen. At least I got 3 6 Mafia. They ain't never tell. You know what I'm saying? You hear me? You know what I'm saying? It was popping, man. We back in the building, man. Um, you know, it's a dirty game with dirty rules and regulations. You know, one point in time, I would have sat here and said, the reason why I brought Jim Jones up again for is because, you know, some people like Jim Jones, even in the Midwest. It'd be hurting my heart to tell them that Jimmy's name is some foolishness. But one thing I am going to say, right, is that this is what happens when you're part of a gang. And somebody said something. They said, Zeke, he's not a gang banger, he's a gang member. But why are you a gang member for no reason at all? It serves no purpose. Like you're doing it, and when somebody tells me I'm not active, I'm just a gang member for appearance purposes, it's like, oh, okay, who you work for? The police? Because who wants to act like an active gang member in a club? Who wants to stand around active gang members that's allegedly putting in work in the street, but I am not active. I'm just here for appearance purposes. So I'm gonna call with a bunch of alleged killers. I'm just here to take pictures with them niggas. Snoop Ron Bulls. Please, somebody educate me on this. I'm as much as some of us has hustled and used to not want to stand on the corner with dudes that we thought was hot. I'm gonna pick a bandana up and I'm not gonna be active. I'm just gonna hang out in the club with active gang members. So of course that looks sus. Why are you here for? Why are you on my phone lines for? You know what I'm saying? So everybody's getting snatched up, and you know one thing a good friend of mine told me when I was growing up, right? Now, my man, there's a couple of people. You know, every neighborhood got that one famous guy that the police seem to always want to lock up. That the hot boy. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, so was such and such. So was such and such. You know what I'm saying? They always got that one guy. He wasn't. You know what I'm saying? That one guy that put in so much work, or they soon put in so much work that his name is hot in the precinct. How do you be a part of this gang? And when the police gonna ask about you, because you're the rapper, you're in 88 pictures, what's his position in this? Nah, he's just the mascot. He's not active at all. He's just here for appearance purposes. Oh, okay. So we're not thinking about it. So he didn't know about the body? Nah, he didn't know about the bodies, man. Well, we got you. He called you 30 times after the body. Nah, we was just talking about appearances and what he should wear at the next function. Yo, he ain't the only one. There's a bunch of them that there's this new thing going on. I'm not active, but I'm around for appearance purposes. But I'm not gang related. You know what I'm saying? I called him the other day, even though his phone is tapped, and we may talk gang shit sometime on the phone. Not me, but I'm just saying gang shit. But they're not gonna listen to my gang shit because I am an active gang member with my AARP mascot card. Hold on, I'm a mascot. I'm not really active. Here's my here go my mascot card. Um, yeah, I'm not active member. I'm gonna get the AARP. I'm not active. I'm just here for appearance purposes. I know that I was on this nigga phone line and that phone line, but you heard the conversation. We're talking about blood shit. We're talking about names. But I am not active, so in a court of law, you cannot hold me in no position. Yo, that sounds crazy, man. So do I feel bad that the paperwork is swerving around Jim Jones? Not at all. You put yourself in that situation. You put yourself there. Yo, do people understand, right? You believe you are untouchable. Even a nigga in the mob will tell you he ain't mob, unless you know he mob. Debbie shout out, you don't say Ron Bugs, force of parties in the building, 115th Atlantic Ave. Shoot the Ron Bugs, man. You know what I'm saying? Definitely rest in peace, Lacey, you heard? Rest in peace to my man Cato from the west side, you know what I'm saying? Everything Watley, rest in peace, Harry Crump, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Now, you know what I'm saying? So basically, and this is what's going on now, this mascot thing. I guess it's the Rick Ross. Listen, who sits and says, I took the guy's identity, rapping, and now when I'm mad at him, I'm gonna call him a snitch. But we all knew Freeway Rick Ross told. We just want to hear his story, not so much about the bricks and keys. We want to hear about Iran Contra because your man Oliver North. That's all we want to know. What the fuck did Oliver North plead the fifth to? That's all we want to know. Exactly, man. You're definitely exactly. You know what I'm talking about, man. That's way before the gang shit, way before all that, man. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to my man Two Guns, man, Tyreek. You heard? Shout out to my man from Force Egbert. You heard? Eggy, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So we on this type of time. Definitely shout out to my man Mr. White Bills from 12th Street, you heard? That's what I want to know. That's the story we want to know. Forget all this outrageous shenanigans. Rick Ross, you should have put the money together, put the real Rick Ross story together. We want to know why did Oliver North plead the fifth? We want to know how the hell was y'all getting the drugs from Nicaragua? We can't even spell Nicaragua. Getting that, getting that through Central America across that Mexican border to the corners of 145th and Broadway. You know what I'm saying? We need to know. No, you ain't gonna tell us because you keep playing with this guy. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? And that's just, these hip hop guys be losing me. You know what I'm saying? And they think that we be doing slander and slang and we're clout chasing. No, we're not clout chasing. I'm just doing my due diligence as a journalist. I am what you call, I'm getting into journalism. You know what I'm saying? Now, if I would say something's a fact, then I would have to prove my facts, right? I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is, Jimmy, you need to holler at your billies. Your billies are a little upset. Somebody's mad. The bag ain't touched. You know what I'm saying? So exactly, Kevlo. That's why we want to know what the what what was it that Oliver North knows everything else because everything else you grew up in. So everything else is just self-explanatory. You know what I'm saying? For those that was outside in the '80s, definitely y'all older guys. Y'all older guys was there before us. Y'all guys know that shit went from the clubs. You know what I'm saying? To Flakana, the block. You know what I'm saying? Y'all see that? We're talking about when marijuana was still being sold in manila envelopes, tray bags, and all that. You have to buy seeds and all that, man. I gotta get us some lights, man. But I definitely salute y'all that support me. Yo, go check out Miss Playful. She I respect it, man. She made a video for the kid, just try to give me more subscribers. You know what I'm saying? So I appreciate that, Miss Playful. That's real. You know what I'm saying? Definitely shout out to everything in DC, the DMV area. You know what I'm saying? And like I told you, man, somebody said something last night that made sense. Like, good example. My cousin from Tav used to go to Baltimore with daddy from 17th. You know what I'm saying? Exactly, Van Glory. Shout out to Crown Courts TV. Exactly. Shout out to Crown Courts TV, man. It's over now. I think they do it to these rappers because for the ones that probably really did have their name on something stupid, they got them. For some money. It's, you know what I'm saying? And for the ones that are just gonna go, man, don't put that on my name. Boom, they're gonna go against it, they're gonna win. Only thing messed up about Jimmy is that Jimmy's like you're part of a gang, you know what I'm saying? Allegedly a community, whatever you want to call it, you know what I'm saying? So it's like the more you represent this, you're opening the doors. Like I told you, if I meet an Italian guy right now and say, yo, you mafia, he gonna tell me no if he don't know me. Not mafia. Nah. Because you want to know why? The fear of somebody being police, the fear of going to jail. Back in the days, right? An old Italian guy, 'cause I grew up on Pleasant Avenue, a guy named Jaime. Jaime was like from, if y'all don't remember him, Puerto Rican guy on 18th Street, half Puerto Rican, half Italian. He used to run with the Italians. He said, tell me stories about the mob, because he used to call my mother, Puerto Rican Jaime. I said, hate his brother, the Doberman Pinscher dogs. Actually, Jaime was Puerto Rican. I remember he was Puerto Rican. He had a couple of brothers. His brother had a racist Doberman Pinscher. Not King, the Coke man, allegedly, he had a Doberman Pinscher too. But Jaime's brother had a Doberman Pinscher. Jaime used to tell me the stories about certain things he did around Jefferson Park. Remember, his name is Jaime. And he said one thing about the mob at that time, one thing about the mafia is they can't admit that they're the kosher, whatever, no kosher, whatever it is. So you can't cop out. So that's why mob bosses get a million years because they can't. Because what the FBI would do is, we don't care. We'll give you 2 days. Just admit that the mafia exists, and they would say no to that. We talking about the '80s. You know what I'm saying? So when you see these mob bosses that got 300 years, they could have copped out, but they couldn't because they was not allowed. Yep, because they was not allowed to admit that the kosher nosha existed. They tell them, listen, you go home right now. That's why it was either you become a rat, a turncoat, or you went all the way in blue. There was no pleading out. There was no let me get a dime. 10 years later, they began because of the cooperation. They began to lift that ban. Like, well, you got to admit the culture, the culture. You know what I'm saying? That was a secret society. What I'm saying is, we've come to the point where we're screaming everything gangster. You know what I'm saying? Exactly. And that's what Jaime told me. Jaime, you know what I'm saying, he might be dead now. But Jaime Well, I was like 10, 11. Jaime had to be like 21, 22. He had a bunch of brothers and a sucker ass dog. You know what I'm saying? Hate King, man. Not King. King was the other one he used to hate. He used to chase me, man. Doberman pinches are dirty. You know what I'm saying? Before pit bulls chased me, it was Doberman pinches. You know what I'm saying? Um, I started on 117th Street, man. He said, you know what I'm saying? Because he got his money messed with the mob, man. He used to just, yo, come over here. Come with me over here. You know what I'm saying? And it's funny, man. It's just so funny, man, growing up in the culture, watching, watching how the game went. Like, damn. Watching how when certain people, parents, have a get together in their house and they be drinking, smearing off and sniffing away and blowing their nose and crazy. So watching how that went too, well, let me get two. Let me get five. The TV off the wall. You go to your man house, your man mom's weigh 250. You go in the crib, she weigh 80 pounds soaking wet, no TVs, no nothing. The babies is in BCW. That's the era of the craziness, man. That we had to see that came from what y'all would call a party drug. Salute to the chat and everybody's here, man. Shout out to Southern Bell, man. So again, it goes back to the Rick Ross. And the reason why I only brought Jim Jones up because there's another part of the paperwork with a signature on it. And like I said, man, you know, Jimmy, I know you got who you got to holler at. Yeah, sir. Yeah, sir. We seen it. We seen. That's what I'm saying. So we seen the destruction. I seen good households that went from good. Do you ever remember the living room sets with the plastic covers and all that, with the big floor model TVs and all that? When you had color TV, that was dope. I got you. I got you. I got you. I got you. I'm gonna have somebody talk. I'm gonna have somebody represent for them. You know what I'm saying? Hell yeah, definitely shout out to everything in Foster. You heard? You know what I'm saying? Because when I was in Taft, PSA 5 was housing police on Fifth Avenue. That was PSA 5. Then you had to have the firehouse in the middle, and then you had the building allegedly where Jim Jones and Peoples lived at. That part of Taft wasn't as crazy as Madison Avenue back then. Madison Ave was crazy back then. We're talking about the Big Dave. We're talking about the y'all keep talking about Karate Mike, but how about Big Arnold? Big Arnold was getting to the bag with your actually he died too, man. Little Spanish kid. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? We talking about Madison Ave. You know what I'm saying? By all ours was that it was a supermarket called Freckles back then. It was called Freckles right there in Taft. It was a big park. You played baseball. In the big park in front of the building was that 70 and 90 or 115th. Allegedly, that's where they had Purple Rain at in the big park. So you have to know the geographics. So that's what I'm trying to say, man. So for me to get a record deal with the shit I talk about, I have to show love to them niggas that was in Taft. A lot of niggas talking about Taft and Taft. Big Park allegedly that's where that Purple Rain was at. In Big Park. That Purple Rain was there way before Karate Mike. Way before Karate Mike. Karate Mike got down with that like in the closer when he caught that closer to they caught that case. We talking about Purple Rain was out there 88, 89, 90. I'm talking about when I was out there coming through. Allegedly, Lou Avenham was out there. You know what I'm talking about, FTW. That's when Big George allegedly was on 116th of Madison in the building. Fat George, he had Crazy Eddie. He called him a snitch. You know what I'm saying? So we grew up in this generation, I'm trying to tell you. So we don't want to, okay, we know the culture what the game did to it. We want to know the backdoor shit, the government, how it went from this land to that land. And Rick Ross, you killing us. You got the budget for this, man. You took his story and 30 other Colombian stories. You know what I'm saying? No, come on, bro. We don't do that. You could have did those same stories. You could have did those same stories being yourself. You know what I'm saying? Am I right? Tell me if I'm wrong, party people. Rick Ross could have just been a fat guy jumping around talking about Miami. We would have been impressed with a fat guy with a pink shirt on with some beige slacks, with some Gillette downs on, talking about he had access to 30 bricks. What does he do? He creates an image around kingpins, and now these kingpins come home and want $2, $3, and you acting funny money, and you taking bad. That's crazy, man. That's crazy, man. Then y'all wonder why dudes get tied up. Yo, y'all didn't see the part. Y'all didn't get what happened with Calvin. Okay, let's get to the get down. Paid in full. It's a little exaggerated. It's a whole lot exaggerated. I don't know what Kevin Clark's situation was with AZ's building. I can't tell you. I don't know. But one thing and one thing for sure is that the dudes that was in that building was alleged killers. Blue and the rest in peace, Blue. That was their building, right? The building AZ lived in. Gangsta Lou. My man lived in the building. I don't know if they felt like dudes felt like, yo, we set up shop and we got money here, and that's when the funny money axes came because they, you know what I'm saying, or this is just a narrative that AZ's putting together. Yo, I tried to look out for my brother-in-law and he tried to murder me. But one thing I'm gonna say is I don't think AZ ever had a beef with Blue and them. You know what I'm saying? Blue and them was on a different level. Rest in peace to Blue. That's Gangsta Lou man. Go call while y'all in the chat. Go hit Gangsta Lou and ask him who Blue is. You know what I'm saying? Gangsta Lou's a real one. Y'all keep thinking about Mob Style AZ and all that. He had a little issue with Tito Johnson, man. A lot of people don't talk about that. You know what I'm saying? He don't talk about it, but there's a little situation with Tito Johnson. We gotta talk about that. A little situation. That's why Harlem loved him, man. He said that dude be wilding. When Tito Johnson came back around talking about who was who and what's and what? Hold on, dude stood up on that block. But that's Gangsta Lou's story. We gotta let Gangsta Lou tell that story eventually. Tito Johnson. If you don't know who Tito Johnson is, that's the guy that was involved with Nicky Barnes' wife. Not the girlfriend with the wife. He sent Tim to jail and his own wife for a dime. You know what I'm saying? That's that's how the knowledge born understanding was brought to the kid. You know what I'm saying? You gotta pay homage, man. You gotta pay homage. Sometimes it's not hard to pay homage. But sometimes, how many times are you gonna pay homage? You give somebody that one chance, you get some money, go. You don't stay attached to the homage. Okay, I get it. Sometimes you look out for somebody, they still want their hand out, so you want to open that door. We get it. But you use the whole person's style. And the only reason why he really can't sue you because he had that was paperwork. See, AZ the rapper, he had his names and all that copywritten already. Because remember, they made mob style. Yeah, he bugging out the rapper bugging, man. You don't take somebody's name, remix it, and then you wildin'. You don't do that. You don't do that. You took the guy's style. Now you take the guy's style. Now I was saying he a sucker, he a snitch. You know what I'm saying? What? Come on, man. You know, a lot of dudes is rappers, man. Why don't you do what 50 Cent did? Yeah, I'm Curtis Jackson. He's been Curtis Jackson for the last 10, 15 years. And to be honest with you, to keep it all the way 100 with you, he's been winning more since he's been Curtis Jackson. You know what I'm saying? Ever since he been Curtis Jackson, he done have money in 10 movies. He been in like 4 or 5 good movies. He got these shows going on. Curtis Jackson. He winning. He still we call him 50, but when on that paper, just like Jay Z winning, right? But who's been winning the last 20 years, 15 years? Sean Carter. You know what I'm saying? It ain't Jigga. He may put Jay-Z in the middle, but no, when he walks in the room now, Sean, what's going on? What's going on, man? Sean, how you doing, man? What's up, man? When he walked through the door, they, oh my God, they go Jay-Z, Jigga, my nigga. They're not doing that because he's on a different tax bracket. Sometimes I'm gonna show you who I am by myself, not with the crew. It's time for Rick Ross to be himself, man. Stop arguing with somebody who created that name. You know what I'm saying? You wildin'. You wildin'. How you gonna argue with somebody who created that lean lifestyle? You're arguing with them. Come on, man. You know, I could. Some things just gotta make sense, right? We know a bunch of good dudes that's gone. You know what I'm saying? People could tell you, pick and choose the story of harm to tell you because they can tell you they likes and dislikes when they're in that position to speak, right? But it's not about me trying to tell y'all the best war story. It's not about me telling y'all who got the biggest guns, who took all the money. I just talk about the ever and what the ever calls for. You know what I'm saying? Like, like I said, man, Jimmy, that's your fault playing with these blood niggas. Now you got some dudes that probably feel in their heart that you own something. Oh, it may not be Mel Matrix, but it might be somebody else down the line. Man, he think it's a game. Boom. The co-defendants might be a Cody, might be one of them niggas that we don't talk about. But that door opens up, and when that door opens up, the game gets disgusting, man. So you just think about this, man. A man who uses a man's whole image plus others' image called that man a snitch because he's mad that the man wants to get some type of reparations off of you using my style. So why don't you become yourself, Rick Ross? Call yourself yourself. Now stop rapping about the drug game which you never sold. You never sold the honey keys. You never did none of that. So why don't you just rap about being a silly fat nigga from Florida that sip on lean and have seizures? Maybe that's more real to us. We can touch that more. Like, yeah, that nigga's being real with himself, bro. You know what I'm saying? He's running around, sipping that lean, falling out, doing that Harlem Shake on the floor. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You know what I'm saying? Why don't you do that? Don't disrespect the man. Come on, man. That's crazy. Rick Ross, the rapper, called the ex-drug lord a snitch. You know what I'm saying? That's one to think about. Like, I know y'all like narratives, but this is weird. You use his AKA for the last 20 years. You can't say we all knew Rick Ross told. Like I said, we want to hear his story about Ronald Reagan. Was you calling Ronald Reagan, nigga? Was you on the line with George Bush Senior? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, rap about that when you was the CO. Rap about that. Oh, man, 'cause now you're disrespecting the game at this point. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's crazy. Yo, he's a snitch. Huh? But you rapped about his life for the last 10 years, bro. Last four, your first three albums is about that lifestyle. What's gonna happen is gonna get one of these dirty bloods and he gonna buy a hat and a shirt for, and they gonna go online. Rick Ross is the realest, son. Niggas don't, we real right, we the real ones. We outside. You gotta stop doing that for a little bit of money, man. Listen, man, I'm not jumping out doing it with nobody. Nothing for free. I don't do nothing strange for a little bit of change. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you gotta mind your business, man. Tell Fat Boy go to the gym, do some jumping jacks, right? He don't call what's his name a snitch. And we about to sit there and accept that. Like, huh? You the one that kept his name alive. Yeah, son. Like you wildin', bro. You're the one that kept Freeway Ricky Ross' name alive. You, Rick Ross, you. We would just be waiting for snowfall or whatever else. You're the one that kept the whole style alive. You. So now you call him a snitch after you kept his lifestyle alive. Now I know why the GDs wasn't playing with you. Something's really wrong with you, bro. Now I thought like that niggas is hating. When you saw screaming at that Larry Hoover and them GDs wasn't playing with you, I said, nah, this is deep. I thought it was just a bunch of niggas playing online, but now I see they had to show you. And when they showed you, that's when the bag started going, okay, you're right. He can't do no shows. We don't have enough security for that man. You know what I'm saying? Why y'all do that for? Like so I'm sitting there going, it's the second time he's done this. We can't forget about when the GDs out of nowhere. He must have thought that they was playing with him. You screaming out Larry Hoover like you GD. You know what I'm saying? They lost their mind on that man. What? Play. I do the flag. He said, the flag on the play. They thought he was playing. So he said to do was showing a couple of spots. Them dudes shut it down. He's next. The dirty magazine. He's not gonna pay the whole nation. GD. Man, Lewis is a dirty game, man. He had to get snacks, them Sub-Zero DV magazines in there. He on my 100 favors. Yo, I gotta go back to work, man. Yo, I love y'all, man. I appreciate y'all, man. Jimmy, check out Old 50's China Brim. I don't know if his page is still open, but he definitely just re-released. Check out the Let's Talk About It. He actually got the second part of the statement. The Billies ain't playing. Billy Badass is not playing. It's on Let's Talk About It. For those that can't find him, he's Mr. Sex Money Murder 252. Check him out. This is part two, man. The Billies is on Jimmy's neck. I guess exactly. When he sees us shooting at that Larry Hoover, them GDs was in what? Huh? And he actually they tried to link with him on some respect shit, like, yo, we want to do something for the kids or something he was trying to do. And he snubbed them niggas like they was little niggas. I think him and G, I think even Jeezy was getting some smoke. You know what I'm saying? For some other shit he was doing. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, find something legal to do in the name of Crown Courts TV. I gotta go back to work. Never shout out to my man, Sex Money Murder 252. Smitty Brim, holla at me. Hit my DM. Wifey Southern Belle. Let me get back in here, get to that bag. I want you jackets in the building. Salute. Coney Island, you heard? You hear it, man. Foster Projects, Foster Kids, Harlem W somewhere out there. It's still Harlem Love, man. Frito Lay today is Rick Ross, the rapper. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy, man. Yeah, man, I gotta go back to work, you heard? Salute.